Good afternoon, vinyl community. Hi, hope everyone is doing well out there. Rob back for another finds video. This is my second attempt at doing this video. You should have by rights had this video, and it would have been uploaded this time last week. Unfortunately, about 10 minutes into the video, my mother decided to call me to go for a walk, or see if I wanted to go for a walk with her. Yeah, it just threw me completely. It doesn't take an awful lot to throw me off balance, and so the video got aborted. Obviously, as you know, I don't know how to edit or do any of that malarkey. So it's a case of it's a one, on the fly, hit the button and run with it, and usually it all works out. So anyway, but there you go. But on the upside, it means that I've got now 9 records to show, as opposed to the 4 that I would have shown last week. So yeah, these are all records that I picked up from Ben. As I haven't done a plug for a while, I thought I would just to remind you all where I get the majority of my records from. So this is SJ Records in Stratford-on-Avon, hence old William Shakespeare on the bag there. So yeah, this is one of his older bags actually. I've had this for a few years now. It's been around the block a bit. But yeah, obviously if you're around in Stratford at any time, go and visit Ben. He's on the main street, just opposite the birthplace. So there's usually teams of tourists around there most of the year. And yeah, go and see him. He's a great guy, and has a really good selection of records at very fair prices. So there you go. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to start off with this first one, which I'm absolutely delighted to get. It's a record that I hitherto hadn't heard of prior to it being re-released about 5 or so years ago. I recall seeing it in Ben's shop when I first started to visit there, but I must have just overlooked it and not realised what it was. But I've since played it and absolutely loved it. And as I say, he managed to get a copy in for me from a friend who I waited a couple of weeks for him to bring it in. He actually brought it in last week, and yeah, very glad that he did. And I got it for a decent price. Okay, so what's the record? Well, it's this one. This is Fuchsia. This is 1971 psych pop, or sometimes it's referred to as classical progressive folk, because of the orchestral elements in it. As you can see from the hype sticker there, this is a deluxe special edition double album. First album is obviously the main studio album, and then there's various demos, unreleased demos on the second record. There's also a DVD, fold-out poster, which is essentially this cover, but I won't get it out, but you can get the picture, and it's reproduced on purple coloured vinyl, not fuchsia coloured vinyl, because I think that's more of a kind of pink, so pinky red. So that's it, obviously without the sleeve on. Sorry about the glare. So that's the vinyl itself, which is a very nice kind of deep purple with kind of black marbled effect streaks, I guess to replicate the color scheme and livery of the album itself. And as always, I'm not going to be able to get this back in. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's decided to behave itself. So okay, is that going to go back in? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm just going to show you the booklet as well. Lovely, lovely 24-page booklet. Full colour there. The story behind the band, all the history, some great pictures of college pictures and playing at college there. It's always really nice to see. No, there's a letter of Terry King Associates, promotion for the album itself and the band. There's another promotional one there from the time. Yeah, and it just goes on and on and on. Anecdotes, there's press clippings, reproduction of Tony Durant's original lyrics as well. Back. More lyrics. Yeah, so just the full experience of listening to this album and sort of all the background information that you need. There is a DVD in there as well, but I can't fish it out for the moment. But yeah, so this is so they're a college folk psych rock band from Exeter University. As I said, they were led by Tony Durant. It was basically the band was bolstered by 3 girls who were members of the Exeter Philharmonic Orchestra. Tony Durant was a huge classical fan. He really liked the music and the idea of having the arrangements done in a classical way with a classical backdrop. And yeah, it just totally works. It's just amazing. Particularly the first side of the record, we've got Gone with the Mouse, A Tiny Book and Another Nail. So 3 really long pieces that just flow into one another. There's loads of kind of romantic lyricism there as well, in terms of the lyrics and the imagery. Very ethereal kind of feel. Yeah. But just absolutely just a classic record, and well worth picking up if you can find a copy. As I say, I don't think it's in print at the moment, but I dare say you could probably pick up copies from Discogs or somewhere like that. So yeah, that's Fuchsia. Okay, keeping in the progressive realm, I also picked up this. This is Magna Carta's second studio album, Seasons, from 1970. And I've kind of balked for a long time in picking this up, really because I kind of heard it several years ago, and I never liked it as much as the debut album. I thought the debut album is just the songwriting's just fantastic. The songs just flow. They're kind of punchy, just wonderful guitar playing, musicianship, of which this record is also full of great musicianship as well. It's just for me that I guess it's an album of two halves. Obviously, you've got the Season Suite on side one, which has some really, really nice moments. Unfortunately, the kind of the spoken word poetry kind of it doesn't quite work for me. But yeah, the songs on the second side I really, really enjoy. So yeah, Going My Way, Road Song, Elizabethan, Ring of Stones, Scarecrow. Airport Song's a little bit twee, not quite so keen on that. But yeah, it's kind of an album of two halves for me, really. So it's on the Spaceship Vertigo label. I have seen the original Swirl copies of this, but yeah, it's kind of wouldn't pay the money basically. But yeah, it's in nice condition. Yeah, I'm happy to pick it up, and yeah, maybe I need to give the first side a few more plays to really reappraise it, perhaps at a later date. Okay, this is one that I'm surprised I've never picked up before, but I've always enjoyed it whenever I hear it. I love his voice. This is 1 Year, Colin Blunstone. So this is Colin Blunstone's debut album from 1971, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1971 on Epic, Yellow Epic. Yeah, a lovely cover with this kind of textured feel that quite a lot of albums from this period have. And yeah, wonderful tracks. Just there's not a bad moment really on this record. First track, She Loves the Way They Love Her. That's a Rod Argent, Chris White song. I think that was left over from the Odyssey and Oracle sessions, which is probably why it's as good as it is. There's a few of those on here. We've got her song as well, which is Argent and White. And there's a Ronnie Lane song here. Lane's song. We've got several which are Colin Blunstone penned originals. Mary, Won't You Warm My Bed, Paul Darbo, of course from Manfred Mann. Of course, it contains the sublime Say You Don't Mind with a wonderful just vocal and that wonderful string, kind of string quartet backing. Fabulous record. Okay, next one. I was really pleased with this one. Wasn't familiar with her prior to picking this up. This is Diane Hildebrandt, so this is from 1968 on original Elektra, that Tan Elektra label. It's got a little bit of a punch out mark there, but other than that, sleeve's not too bad. Yeah, so Diane Hildebrandt, this is Early Morning Blues and Greens. This is only one of actually 3 albums that she ever recorded. I think the 2 subsequent albums that she recorded after this were under the name of Joyce Diane Skye. So this is she's was a American songwriter, had an association with the Monkees, and the title track "Early Morning Blues and Greens" was included on the Monkees' Headquarters album. I think she wrote with Jack Keller. And there's just some great songs on this. The opener, Jan's Blues, is fantastic. Thumbing is really, really nice. It just has a lovely bluesy kind of laid back kind of feel to it. The songs just flow so nicely. Her vocals are great. Really, really nice arrangements on the songs. Fantastic. I think it's produced by and engineered by Bruce Botnick, who was in-house Elektra engineer. I think he was associated with the Doors, I think. Well worth picking up if you've not heard this record. So that's Diane Hildebrand and Early Morning Blues and Greens. Okay, next one is one to an addition to my Incredible String Band collection. This one is No Ruinous Feud. So this is Incredible String Band Mark III, I think. So obviously the girlfriends have left by their stage. This is 1973. And obviously Malcolm LeMaistre is in the band taking some vocal duties. That's the inner sleeve with the lyrics. On lovely Pink Rim Island. And it's very much a kind of mixed bag, this record, really, which didn't surprise me from the band at this period of their career. So this is their last but one record before they split, and they're really trying to get a lot of different styles. They're trying different things out. There's kind of reggae on here. There's a reggae instrumental. There's some sort of solely backing vocals. They're just really just trying all sorts, moving away from the kind of eccentric kind of folk music that they were renowned for in the late 60s. It's got some interesting moments. Malcolm LeMaistre writes a couple of the songs. I think there's a Dolly Parton cover on here as well. I think is it Turquoise Blue, I think, or My Blue Tears. There's some the usual kind of jigs from Robin Williamson, doing some more traditional kind of folk elements. The opener, actually, I really enjoy the Mike Heron song Explorer. That's really good. It wasn't expensive, so glad to have it and add it to the collection. I think there's only one I think I'm missing now, which is You, I think. And then I think I have their entire discography. So, that's Incredible String Band and No Ruinous Feud. Okay, a couple of collection fillers here. Been not a huge fan of Japan, but saw this for cheap and thought it'd be nice to pick up as it's a retrospective. And this is Assemblage from 1981 on Hansa International. In really, really nice condition. I think I paid £6 for this. And yeah, this is a compilation record from late 1981, which has some re-recordings of some earlier hits and singles, and yeah, it's got some nice songs on it, decent stuff. Life in Tokyo, European Sun. Version of All Tomorrow's Parties, Velvet Underground and Nico's song, which is quite nice. I think which was later released in '83 as a single. And then we got quite an interesting version of the Smokey Robinson song Second That Emotion, which I seem to recall was a single, and was actually the version of that song that I actually heard first before I heard the original. So but yeah, I mean, David Sylvian and Japan, obviously got this kind of art rock kind of post-punk, new romantic sort of sound. He's got kind of very distinctive vocals, and yeah, so pleased to get some more Japan into the collection. Another one, this one I used to have on CD years ago. This was also quite cheap, so always loved his first album. Second album not so good, and then I thought this one was a bit of a return to form. So we've got Melt, Peter Gabriel. So this is his third album after leaving Genesis, of course. Yeah, and fabulous. Some great songs on this. I love the single Games Without Frontiers, Not One of Us, the tribute to Steve Biko finishing the album, I Don't Remember, Intruder. Just great, weird pop, as we come to expect from Peter Gabriel. Charisma, nice custom label there with a lyric inner. Yes, I'll say I used to have this on CD. I know this album really well. Nice to finally have a vinyl copy of it. Okay, this one was just a bit of a blind buy, really. I've still not actually spun this. I don't know what this is going to be like, but it was fairly cheap. This is the Albion Band from 1978 and Rise Up Like the Sun. This is on Harvest, green, yellow Harvest. And yeah, obviously, so Albion Band, yeah, I'm familiar with them because of the classic album from 1971, No Roses, with Shirley Collins. So Shirley Collins is absent from this one, but you've got a lot of the still the original Albion Band there. Linda and Richard Thompson, Martin Carthy, Andy Fairweather Lowe is on this album, and Julie Covington. Simon Nicol, Dave Mattox, yeah, the Fairport guys. So yeah, I'm tipping that this is going to be sort of possibly less traditional and a bit more kind of progressive folk. But I could be wrong. I don't know. As I say, I've not heard this album. This is a complete blind buy. So if anybody wants to fill me in the comments, please be my guest. So, but I'm looking forward to giving it a spin over the next few days. Okay, and the last one was just an upgrade, just a bit of fun really, and the nostalgia from my youth. Okay, so this is upgrade of The Jungle Book. Disney, my favourite Disney film of all time, and a lot of other people, I know it's their favourite too. Fabulous soundtrack, just unforgettable jazz soundtrack, with I Want to Be Like You, Bare Necessities, Trust in Me, Colonel Hathie's March, yeah, wonderful, and the narration as well. Just yeah, I love this film, and I love the songs, and this is a really minty copy with the original book in, with no staples missing or tape across it. The vinyl looks very well loved, but hopefully it'll clean up okay. So, but I've always got the old the other copy I've got, and I could always kind of Frankenstein it, I guess, if it's not as good as the original copy. But certainly the sleeve and the booklet is in better condition. So wonderful stuff. Okay, so that's it, guys. So just a heads up, I am taking a week off work, not next week, but the week after. So I've got a few things I've got to do, but I'm hopefully going to have some time to do maybe one or two other videos on my favorite albums that I keep saying that I'm going to do. But hopefully I will have the time. I've made some notes already on them, on the first one that I'm going to do. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have the time and the energy to do that. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great time, a great week, upcoming week. What's left of Sunday today, and we'll catch up and speak again very soon. Cheers, guys. All the best. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.